those organisations. I absolutely do not
Hello.
approve of those organisations.
But I'm afraid he's going to have to do this one more time. He referred to Hamas and Hezbollah as his friends. Now, he needs to
Withdraw that remark.
Give them another chance. Are they your friends or are they not? Because those organisations, in their constitutions, believe in persecuting and killing Jews. They are anti-Semitic organisations. They're racist organisations. He must stand up and say they are not his friends.
Mr. Speaker, obviously, anyone that commits racist acts or is anti-Semitic is not a friend of mine. It's very clear. It's very clear about that. I'm very clear about that. I would also invite him to think for a moment about the conduct of his party and his candidate in the London mayoral election. The way in which they're systematically smearing my friend, the member for Tooting, who's our candidate for mayor. I wish him well, and I invite the Prime Minister to undertake to ensure that the Conservative Party in London desists from the activities it's undertaking at the present time in smearing my friend.
But I completely reject what he says about Labour's candidate for the London mayoralty. I would make this argument, as I said before at this dispatch box, we are not responsible for everything someone says when they share a platform with us. We can't control everyone who appears in a picture, but there is a pattern of behaviour with the Honourable Member for Tooting. And let me tell him, he shared a platform
with Sajil Saheed,
the man, the ringleader,
yes,
of the 7/7 attacks,
yes,
and accused
yes.
the United States of bringing 9/11 on themselves. He shared a platform with an extremist who called for Jews to be drowned in the ocean. When this was put to the Honourable Member for Tooting, this is what he said. He described it as mere flowery language. Now, if he wants to know why he has a problem with anti-Semitism, it's because his candidates share platform after platform after platform with extremists and anti-Semites and then excuse their words.
Bash.
One more time, say you withdraw the remark about Hamas and Hezbollah being your friends.
Mr. Speaker, last week, the Prime Minister tried, as he often does, to smear my friend, the member for Tooting. By his
Yeah, you got anything else to say, you fucking cunt?
It turns out that Mr. Ghani is actually an active Conservative supporter who has shared platforms with the Honourable Member for Richmond. He also should reflect on the words said by Lord Lansley some years ago that racism was endemic within his party. We have set up a commission of inquiry. I suggest he might think about doing the same thing.
But I'm not going to let this issue rest about the Honourable Member Tooting. He raised the case of Sullivan Ghani, who the member for Tooting shared a platform with 9 times. This is a man who says it's wrong to stop people to go and fight it. As long as it takes. Do you want to know the views of the person that your leader has just quoted? He described women as right. The Honourable Member for Islington might be interested in this. He described women as subservient to men. He said that homosexuality was an unnatural act. He stood on a platform with people who wanted an Islamic state. That is why his attempts to deal with anti-Semitism are utterly condemned to failure. Because he won't even condemn people who sit on platforms with people like that. Jeremy Corbyn.
Do you trust this printer?
I pointed out to the Prime Minister, I was actually trying to help him, that the gentleman concerned is actually Conservative.
But once again, I say to him, we are investing in the schools to give people opportunity. We're investing schemes to allow people to own homes to give them opportunities. He opposes all those things because the truth is this. He may be a friend of the terrorist group Hamas, but he's an enemy of aspiration.
particular area of the Muslim faith. You were complaining in your article in The Spectator that in one primary school music was banned. That's kind of another issue, but raffles and tombolas were banned. I mean, what do you want to do? Do you want to encourage Muslim children to gamble? What's your problem with that? It should reflect the nature of the school.
First, they came for the tombolas.
So what?
The problem
Gambling seems wrong in this community.
The problem going on here is we're in the middle of a debate. I mean, the nation is going
A mass
through
debate.
very substantial change, and I think that what we've been discussing in recent days and what we've been discussing this morning kind of reflects this. I mean, until very recently, if you said to people, and it comes back to British values things, well, if you said to people until very recently, what is Britain, what are British values, you'd have got a fairly clear reply along the lines of Protestant Christian country, we have institutions of church and state and monarchy and so on, which represent the country. As one of the results of mass immigration of recent decades, there has been a substantial change in the country. All sorts of good things have come from that, and some negatives have. But one of the things that has come from it is this confusion
Rabble.
of what it is we are. We want to be open and tolerant, we want people to be able to practice their faiths, we want people to be able to express themselves and live the lives they want to live. What we're finding it very hard to do at the moment, and I mean the French secular example has already come up, is to work out where our lines are drawn as a nation, because they're not clear at the moment. We're in the middle of
those lines.
It may prove impossible. It may be that we do something like the French state did and try to draw very clear lines. That's what you've heard in recent days. There's a bit of it already this morning. But there's a problem with some schools that are actually state secular schools that happen to have had.
How bad are those problems?
The problems exposed in Sir Michael Wiltshire's report are pretty serious, and there's more to come.
Really, what's so
teaching.
serious in the report?
I think, for instance, the Wiltshire himself says that these children are at risk of cultural isolation. There have been findings of children, for instance, being taught in assembly to chant anti-Christian chants and so on. This is very unpleasant sectarian stuff.
Did you know that none of the people in that school were spoken to during that so-called investigation?
And
the teachers were not spoken to either. You come to Stanford, where I live, well, not far away from our house.
Equals 42.
Community, the Jewish community, who live in a very isolated group.
Rabble.
Nobody says it.
Rabble. New
I have
rabble.
no problem with that. Hold on. I have no problem with that.
Get new rabble. I want new rabble. New version.
Create a big
just
fuss
gotta edit.
over the Jewish communities, especially that particular community living in that way. Why cause a fuss over a report that was made out of a hoax letter?
You acknowledge there are issues.
I did say that.
First of all, you're talking about faith schools. We're talking about state schools. That's the first thing. Second thing,
many schools are funded by the state.
Not going to interrupt me. Stop. The second thing is what should be taught in schools. Actually, I think you should be teaching about religions. So that doesn't mean you have to believe. But if we don't know what other people believe, we don't know. The literacy to challenge the idea of what you mentioned, you use your language of the true faith.
It's not
So I would say there are faiths out there, and Britain is about acknowledging truth of faith. And the third thing is about what we tolerate. The third thing is about what we tolerate. I don't think that everything goes, and I think that if there is incitement to hatred, to racial hatred, or gender hatred,
I just picked my nose and ate it again.
I think
Standard.
actually you do restrict that.
Standard behaviour.
Don't worry, we've got a lot of time. Douglas Murray, you can't force people to believe things. You can't shoehorn people into a particular Douglas Murray shaped,
No intention.
David Cameron shaped Britain.